Hello, children. In today's lesson, we're going to be learning about another miracle that Jesus performed, and it's the story of the centurion servant. Now, in our last lesson, we looked at two different miracles. We looked at when Jesus healed a man who was born blind, and we looked at a time when Jesus performed a miracle to calm a storm. And the miracles that Jesus performed can be split into different groups, and we're going to be concentrating on the miracles of healing. That's where he helped people who were very poorly. I'm going to read the story to you now, and there are some things that I'd like you to think about whilst you listen to the story. First of all, I want you to think, did Jesus meet the centurion? Why didn't the centurion want Jesus to come into his house? And why did Jesus heal the servant? So let's listen to the story now. One day, after Jesus had finished preaching to a large crowd of people, he came down from the mountain and went into the town of Capernaum. The streets were busy, but one important man was not with the crowds. A Roman soldier sat inside at the side of his much beloved servant's bed. The soldier was a centurion, meaning he was in charge of 100 men when they all went into battle. The centurion was well known and well respected by everyone in Capernaum because he treated everyone fairly. Despite his importance, the centurion was at home caring for one of his servants who was very sick. The centurion knew that without a miracle, the servant would die. Suddenly, the centurion heard lots of noise in the street below. The centurion listened to hear what the shouting was all about. He heard cries of, "Jesus!" People were shouting, "Jesus is here! Jesus is coming!" The centurion had heard all about Jesus. Recently, stories of Jesus healing the sick and even raising a man from the dead had reached the town. The centurion knew that this was his only chance. He did not wish to leave his sick servant's side, so he asked some of his friends to find Jesus and beg for his help. The friends soon found Jesus, and they begged him to come with them and heal the centurion's dying servant. They said, "If anyone deserves your help, it is this man. He loves the Jews and even paid personally to build us a synagogue." After listening intently to the men, Jesus said, "I will come and heal the servant." Not far from the house, more friends of the centurion arrived with a message for Jesus. The message told Jesus not to come to the house, for the centurion did not feel he was worthy to welcome such a great man into his house. "Just speak a word, and I know my dear servant will be healed," the centurion's message read. When Jesus read the centurion's words, he marvelled at the man's faith. He was delighted that the centurion would believe that just one word from Jesus could heal a man. He turned to the crowd and said, "Never among all the Jews in Israel have I met a man with faith like this." Jesus healed the centurion's servant with just a word. It was a miracle. Now, you can find this story in the Gospels of St. Matthew and St. Luke, and I've also put a copy in our PDF file. And I hope that you noticed that the reason that Jesus chose to heal the centurion's servant was because of the faith that the centurion showed. He asked Jesus, even though he wasn't a follower of Jesus, and it's really important to remember that when you listen to the story. He asked Jesus to heal him because he believed and trusted Jesus. He knew that Jesus could do amazing things. And he also said that he didn't think that he was worthy to allow Jesus to come into his house. And that's really important because, again, it's saying, I trust you, I believe in you, but actually I know that I'm not really good enough. And it was that faith that led Jesus to perform this miracle. Now, I'd like you also to talk to your grown-ups about those words that the centurion said. "I am not worthy for you to enter under my roof, but only say the word and my servant shall be healed." Now we hear those words somewhere else. Not quite like that. The words that we hear are, Lord, I am not worthy that you should enter under my roof, but only say the words, and my soul shall be healed. I'd like you to talk to your grown up about where those words are heard on a regular basis. That means often. So have a chat to them and see if you can work that one out. I'm looking forward to seeing your work. Can't wait to see what you do because I know that you'll think very deeply about all the messages of this story. Bye for now, Year 2.